A moment with Pastor Jeff, 8 o'clock every morning, Monday through Friday. And this is our second episode. So we're so glad that you took the time to join us, as this morning we're talking about relationships. A few years ago, I ministered a sermon on relationships, and I looked at the 5 points that I consider enemies to relationships. Unforgiveness, past hurt, selfishness, insecurity, discontentment, and ego. The acronym spells UPSIDE, if that helps you remember. But we want to start off with unforgiveness. One of the things I learned in marriage, and it took me a little while to learn this, but I'm so glad that I did. I remember this particular moment where I was extremely upset with my wife. And I had already told myself, I'm gonna say this to her, and I'm gonna say that to her, and I'm gonna tell her this, and I'm gonna tell her that. And I had already planned out how I was gonna correct her, and how I was gonna, came up with a plan with the words I would say. And immediately when I began to attempt to talk to her, she said something that just melted my heart. She said, I apologize. I apologize. And so now whenever I'm teaching couples, whenever I'm counseling couples, one of the things I tell them is what I learned in marriage is one of the two most powerful words in marriage is I apologize. Because many times what happens is once you apologize, even if you're not wrong, even if you don't feel like you're wrong, it diffuses that situation and says, hey, let's move on. Let's not stay here. Let's not dwell on this anger. Let's not dwell on, and so use those words. I apologize. Past hurt. Past hurt will cause you to begin to make believe that you're in that old relationship again. Past hurt will begin to make you act like you're still with the person who physically abused you. I was counseling someone one time, and they were telling me that whenever they and their spouse got into a disagreement, they would cringe knowing that they were about to get hit. Even though the spouses never hit them, they just knew, oh, you about to hit me. And they said they had to learn that I'm not in that relationship anymore. I'm not with that person who abused me anymore. But that's physical, but do you know that mentally you can still be holding on to past hurt and having reactions that's not healthy for your new relationship? Sometimes you can stay in fight mode with somebody who is not even wanting to fight you. They don't even want to go there. But what you're doing is you're responding the way you used to respond. You're reacting the way you used to react. And so it's like you're living in that old moment. But I wish I could encourage you. Ask the Lord to help you. Lord, help me not to bring that old hurt into this new beginning, into this beautiful relationship. Don't let me continue an argument that started with somebody else when this new person that you've given me is not even that same person. So let that past hurt go and embrace what the Lord has given you. Selfishness. Selfishness can be a huge enemy to relationship, because the thing that makes love grow and makes a relationship beautiful is as you do things for each other, not just one-sided. I mean, my wife might massage my neck, just make me feel relaxed and try to get rid of my tension and my stress. And I immediately begin to think, oh, what can I do for her? What can I do to make her happy? Because relationships is about serving one another, being there for one another. But what happens is let's just say you're a selfish person in your relationship, that leaves the other person to feel unhappy, unimportant, invaluable, because that selfishness just makes it look like it's all about you, and they really don't matter a whole lot. But I want to challenge you in your relationship. Make her feel like a queen. Make her feel valuable. Make him feel like a king. Make him feel valuable. And I can promise you, you will have a beautiful relationship. You might even make it 28 years like I have. I don't know. You might. Insecurity. Insecurity is extremely dangerous for relationships because in order to be insecure, many times you're using your imagination. You can tell yourself, I don't like this about myself. I don't like that about myself. And then all of a sudden, your spouse is dealing with somebody who don't have confidence, who's insecure, and now it's pulling down the morale of the relationship, the energy of the relationship. It's hard for y'all to enjoy yourself because you're constantly looking at yourself and feeling like you're not good enough. And what I've learned in marriage is many times your insecurity is not even real. There's been times when my wife has felt insecure about certain aspects of herself, and that was my favorite part. She'd be like, I don't like this part about my body. And I'm like, I love it, because a lot of times insecurity is just something that we have made up in our mind, and now we're projecting it on the other person, when really, if you ever embrace confidence and become secure, I'm gonna give you a secret. When you're confident, it's attractive. Confidence is beautiful. I mean, you ever seen somebody just walking with confidence and you were just like, oh, that person, they look beautiful. That's why they have models walk a certain way. Confidence by itself is beautiful. I encourage you, be confident, even if your weight ain't exactly where you want it to be, or you feel, be confident in who you are. Because here's the thing, if I chose you, that means I love you. If Heath chose you, that means he loved you. If Sheath chose you, that means she loves you. Don't let insecurity bring down a beautiful relationship. Discontentment. Discontentment is very dangerous for a relationship. Discontentment can be so bad until you can actually ruin something a beautiful moment. Let me give you an example. Let's say you and your spouse are traveling. And while you're traveling, your spouse is having a wonderful time looking at the scenery, taking pictures, enjoying themselves. And you're thinking about everything that's not right and complaining about everything that you want to happen. And all of a sudden, that discontentment has brought down the joy of everybody around you. That complaining, that murmuring. And now it's like, man, we on vacation, but it sure don't feel like it. Discontentment can ruin the beauty of a relationship. That's what the Bible said, be content, whatever state you're in. Because discontentment can have you looking at somebody else's spouse and saying, well, why you not like that? Or why you don't do what she do? Or why you don't do what he does? Not realizing you only getting a glimpse into their marriage. You only saw them for 15 minutes and you think you know everything about how they living. Okay. The truth is, everybody have issues. Everybody have disagreements. Everybody has something they might want to change, But you have to learn how to embrace what the Lord is giving you, enjoy what the Lord is giving you, and work on what the Lord is giving you. Some people, instead of working on what the Lord is giving them, y'all know what they do? They work on a new relationship, as if there's not going to be flaws there. And they learn in the new relationship, there's still flaws. So the key is, Lord, help me to be content with what you've given me. Help me to embrace it. Help me to make it better. That doesn't mean try to change the person. Some people hear me say, make it better, and be like, see, Pastor told me I could try to change you. That's manipulation. I'm not telling you to try to manipulate people and change people. If you married them, and if they married you, you made the decision that this is who you want to be with. Now work with them to make that relationship beautiful. Embrace them for who they are. And please don't look at the other relationships and start comparing. Just make what you have, what the Lord has given you, make that beautiful. The last one was ego. Ego will be an enemy to your relationship because it will literally have you in a mindset where I can never apologize. Even if I'm wrong, I can never apologize. My ego is too big. I always want to prove that I'm better or I'm smarter or I'm more capable or and so an ego will have you actually, instead of walking together as a couple, trying to outdo each other, trying to prove who better than who, And so an ego is dangerous to a relationship, because the most beautiful relationship you'll ever see, and I've seen it and I've lived it, is a relationship with two humble people. Two people who've gotten rid of their pride and able to look each other and say, man, I wish I was as good looking as you are. Humble people have a beautiful relationship. So get rid of your ego. These have been the 5 points from Pastor Jeff.